Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Making It Big. I am your host, A.B. Ravi. This week's story seems like a script from a Bollywood movie. It has all the ingredients: family feud, business rivalry, court battles, resulting in the protagonist being almost wiped out. Yet, even in this hopeless situation, the protagonist, like our Hindi film hero, does not lose his cool or his strength of character. Nand Kishore Aggarwal, the man who built Crystal Corp protection brick by brick, has gone through several setbacks in his life and business. But these setbacks have neither slowed him down nor depressed him. On the contrary, it has brought out a rare sense of maturity and sagacity, especially during the time when his family business was split and he was left high and dry. But when it came to fighting the outsiders, Mr. Aggarwal spared no punches. For instance, he fought the MNC giant Syngenta tooth and nail over molecule registration issue and won the case. This victory, reminiscent of the classic David versus Goliath fight, shows that size does not matter if truth is on your side. Take a look at the Crystal Corp story and you'll know how to bounce back in business by being honest, strong-willed and intensely focused.
It has been a choppy ride ever since Nand Kishore Aggarwal entered the family business some 4 decades ago. Yet, that has not slowed him down. On the contrary, it has made the 64-year-old Aggarwal quicken his pace to make up for lost time. Aggarwal, chairman of the Delhi-based Crystal Corp Protection, wants to double his company's turnover to 3,000 crore rupees in the next 5 years. Going by his past performance, he will do better than that. Crystal Corp Protection, an unlisted company, is into manufacturing and marketing of agrochemical products like insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, plant growth regulators, and micronutrients. These products, manufactured at its 3 factories, are sold under the brand names like Clinton, Tribune, Missile, Confidence, and Billow, to name a few. Available at an affordable price and in convenient packs of 10 milliliters to 200 liters, these products help farmers to protect their crops from pests. Besides, the company uses the same 6,000-strong distribution network to sell seeds as a sub-license of Monsanto. However, the company's staple diet is agrochemicals, with insecticides contributing 55% to its turnover, herbicides 40%, and fungicides 5%. Aggarwal, who wants to improve the lot of Indian farmers, is betting big on R&D so that pesticides and seeds are made available to them at an affordable price compared to high-priced MNC products. For instance, Aggarwal sold imidacloprid at 1,800 rupees per litre, while MNCs sold the same for 3,800 rupees per litre. And this became the company's core strategy to penetrate the complex Indian market.
I think our ability to manage this country, which is like a continent, each state is a different country. It's a group of heterogeneous people. In one state, there are variety of people. So I think our ability to manage this complexity is one strength. And then I would also say that we are providing complete solution to the farmers. Of complete agri inputs from seeds to harvest, of course, agrochemicals, which is main part of it. We provide complete range of products, all in terms of insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, in different variety of packing, starting from a small 10 ml pack to as big as 200 liter barrels. So I think these, I would say, are our core USPs, which is making a difference, and continuous innovation in new products are, I would say, these 3 different USPs from core business point of view, which had made a difference in the success of our company.
By providing a complete solution, it has emerged as a favorite company among farmers. But this recognition among farmers, whom Aggarwal considers his brand ambassadors, did not happen overnight. It was a long and arduous journey. To go back in time, Nand Kishore Aggarwal, part of a 5-children family, was born in 1955. His father was a successful businessman who had pioneered the kirana trade in Old Delhi. By the time Nand Kishore had mastered in science from Delhi's KM College in 1974, his father had become the biggest distributor of fertilizers in North India. Eventually, the family exited the fertilizers business and got into the manufacturing of lucrative agrochemical products. Nand Kishore Aggarwal, who was the face of the organization, decided to grow it further by organizing a distributors conference in Shimla in 1988. This was a runaway success. The dealers were impressed by the company's products and gave an advance of 75 lakh rupees. After that, there was no looking back. By 1990, the Aggarwals had achieved a turnover of 20 crore rupees. Then, the unexpected happened in 1991. The family business was split into two. His father and 3 brothers took over the existing profitable business, while Nand Kishore Aggarwal and his elder brother were given money and a dormant factory. But Aggarwal was unfazed. He enjoyed a good reputation among distributors and farmers. Capitalizing on this, he quickly took over a sick unit and renamed it Jayashree Agro Industries. That was 1992. By 1997, Aggarwal's efforts saw the company's turnover touching the 150 crore rupee mark. At this point in time, Aggarwal got another rude jolt. His elder brother had betrayed his trust and both had to part ways. In both the partitions, he felt betrayed and was tempted to go to the police and take legal recourse. But heeding his banker friend's advice, Aggarwal concentrated on rebuilding his business. His business model was based on 3 factors: manufacturing, registration, and distribution. As expected, the trade backed him to the hilt and his business was up and running. In 1999, he signed a joint venture with a Chinese company for import of a new range of agrochemicals. Soon, he tasted success with the import of imidacloprid and its registrations. He also adopted the MNC strategy of giving no credit sales, constantly launching new molecules and educating farmers. The result? His business started clocking 30% growth every year. But in the process, he had also unwittingly invited the wrath of the MNCs. In 2004, an MNC giant Syngenta launched a product whose results were extraordinary. The molecules were so strong that the farmers had to spray it once in 15 days instead of every alternate day. But this was priced at around 10,000 rupees per kg. Aggarwal identified this molecule and his R&D made it possible to sell the same product for 1,500 rupees per kg. In 2006-2007, Aggarwal got the molecules registered, but Syngenta went to the court stating that Crystal had copied their data. Aggarwal was sure of his case, so he hired the legal eagle Abhishek Manu Singhvi to fight Arun Jaitley, who was representing Syngenta. And his efforts paid off. By 2008-2009, the court ruled in Crystal's favor. Now, with all the problems behind him, the company is firing on all cylinders. It has acquired 2 companies, launching mechanized maize harvesters, and applied for the registration of 14 patents in the areas of wheat, paddy, and maize. These are beginning to reflect in the financials. In the last 5 years, the company's sales grew from 720 crore rupees in 2010-2011 to 1,328 crore rupees in 2014-2015. However, the net profit during the same period slipped from 95 crore rupees to 83 crore rupees. Though margins are under pressure, the company is on everybody's radar.
What singularly appeals to us is R&D. We define R&D slightly differently. R is really about a strong pipeline of registrations that the company has introduced and will introduce of new products in the Indian marketplace. The Indian market today has only about 200 of the 800 molecules which are out there today, out of patent, and which could go a long way in helping Indian farmers protect their crops. The second issue is around distribution. So the D stands for really distribution. They have a very strong and extensive distribution network today in the country, across 6,000 plus dealers, reaching the top 9 agrarian states in this country. And it's just fantastic what we've seen, what they've done, and how they have developed that, capability both across, their ability to register new products and distribute these products through brands across the country.
On that optimistic note, it's time for a short commercial break. When we come back, CNBC TV 18's A.B. Ravi chats with Nand Kishore Aggarwal of Crystal Corp to find out what was his strategy plank on which he built his business. Also joining us on the show is Sandeep Uppal of HSBC, giving us a banker's perspective. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. He thinks agrochemicals, lives agrochemicals, and breathes agrochemicals. His biggest goal in life is to make sure that MNCs don't exploit Indian farmers. Towards this, his company has over a dozen patents registered that will help farmers big time. I caught up with 64-year-old Nand Kishore Aggarwal, chairman of Crystal Corp Protection, at his Delhi office to find out how he proposes to touch the 3,000 crore rupee mark in the next 5 years. This is what he has to say. Take a look. Mr. Aggarwal, Sandeep, welcome to the show. Mr. Aggarwal, if I may begin by asking you, it's quite unusual, but in your case, your family business split twice. The first time it happened, you had to start from the scratch. The second time, it was a totally different story. So what gave you the confidence to be in the same business? You could have taken a legal recourse because you had built the business.
For first partition, if you see, my age must be around 40.
Okay.
I was quite young and very enthusiastic because the present business which I was running this industry, I was the main leader and organizing each and everything, including sales, marketing, production, purchase.
Yeah.
Though we are 5 brothers, and the role of the main role was mine to look after all these things, and I was taking the lead, and with the support of my father.
Okay.
The other brothers were not so active by nature, you can say. So because of misunderstanding and all communication gap, the situation arises for partition, though my father was not ready for partition.
Okay.
And ultimately the situation arises that partition was not fair, and situation came very tense. But somebody advised me not to go for litigation, not to go for police. You settle it, whatever is settled, and whatever they give you, you take it and look forward, go ahead. I purchased the factory, I purchased the license to manufacture also, because at that time, in 1991, there is a ban on the license to give by the state government.
Okay, so you went and bought a company.
We bought a company, we purchased a land and with the building, and started immediately. Within 6 months, we started our production with a brand, with a new name, Jayashree Agro Industries.
So what happened the second partition? Which year was it?
I was looking after the business, and my brother was involved in the finance and accounts. So you can say, because I am a graduate in science,
you're a technical man.
so I am technically strong. So I was not much aware about the accounts, and there was some problem in the accounts. Because of that reason, we parted up, and we coolly parted.
You seem to face a lot of what's the setbacks in your business. One was at the family level. The second time, when you had a big breakthrough in 2 molecules which you had registered, the MNC Syngenta dragged you to the court. You won the battle. So could you walk us through why did they take you to the court and how you won the battle?
I came to know that China is a big manufacturer of this agrochemicals, especially the pesticide. and there is one molecule, imidacloprid.
Okay.
This molecule, the owner of this molecule is buyer, and he was selling at 3,800 rupees a liter in Indian
India,
market.
okay.
In Indian market, and when I went there in China and I calculated what will be the price of Chinese product, the price was at that time I'm talking, the cost was 700 rupees. So huge difference. I thought there can be a strong value addition and I can give cheaper material with a quality product to the farmers. Then after registration of this molecule, we could increase our business to the tune of some 20-30% immediately. Then we analyze that in the Indian market, who are the multinationals and who are giving new molecules. Okay. So let us focus on that, because generic molecules, no money, no profit, big competition.
Okay.
I focus on both the products, went to China, made a contract with the best manufacturer of China and went for registration.
Okay.
Suddenly what happened, when we got it,
They went to
this
the court.
registration, on the same day, they went to the High Court and got the stay. They went to the court without making us as a party. They made the Ministry of Agriculture Registration Committee, they made the party to Government of India and tried to took the stay. But in the meantime, we got some information that some case is there, some writ is there in the High Court. We people went there, tried to hire, and we requested the court that unless you listen us, unless you hear us, don't give the stay. But Arun Jaitley was their counsel, so he didn't listen us. He told us that you give the statement not to import this material unless we decide this case. Again, we were in trouble. For another 1 year, we were detained for import and marketing this molecule. But ultimately, because we were right, we spent huge money on registration. So
you won the battle.
We won the battle.
Okay, let me get Sandeep in. Sandeep, you heard the story so far from Mr. Aggarwal. I think both at the family level and at the business level, he has met with a lot of setbacks. So as a banker, what is the impression you get about this man and the company? Fighting fit all the time, what is it?
So when you hear Mr. Aggarwal, you can clearly make out Mr. Aggarwal is very driven and very passionate about what he does. And we believe that these are the qualities which have helped him when faced with personal setbacks, which he very eloquently articulated. But that comes out very clearly in the business itself. Now, I'm not from a science background, and I also struggle to pronounce some of the name of the products which they have. But clearly what one can see is that the demand or the potential within this sector is massive in India. You know, we see it all the time and we hear it all the time that 40% of what gets really produced at a farm level never reaches the table. So the range of products, whether insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, which were highlighted, can only contribute to stem that loss. And that's what will lead to the kind of changes in the industry which Mr. Aggarwal is foreseeing. And they're very well positioned for that, because other than the scientific part, which was brought out very strongly, I have a slightly different take on this industry, which I see at the moment a bit like a rural FMCG. So two parts of FMCG which come out very strongly in this sector are distribution and brand. Now, historically when you started, and a number of companies were very local, but we have clearly seen that over the years, most companies and the stronger companies like Crystal have become national. I think we're already there in 22 states, 6,000 dealers to work with, plus the brands. So I think it's those elements other than the scientific part which have really made Crystal a success what it is at the moment.
Your dream is to become a 3,000 crore company by 2020.
Yes.
So IPO will partially help you there. But will that growth come from organic, inorganic growth? And how is the business mix going to be by 2020?
The growth will be both sides, organic and inorganic.
Okay.
There is a big potential for seed business. So we are expecting in coming 4 or 5 years, around 400 to 500 business in seed sector. Then we have another segment of agri equipment. It's very important.
It's a new product.
And I am again passionate to this product, because from last 70 years of the after the independent, no technology for this farm mechanization is there.
Okay.
So we are feeling that we can lead the market and we can give good products, good solution to the farmers, cheaper solution to the farmers for harvesting, sowing and spraying, everything.
That will be another 500
So
crore?
we are expecting another minimum 500 because the market is big, potential is big. We are expecting 500 crore rupees volume this.
Agri equipment.
And then rest of the, if we achieve 3,000, then definitely 2,000 is not a problem in agrochemicals because we have 14 patented molecule which we will be getting registration in coming 2-3 years.
Okay, one final question. What, according to you, is the ingredient for success in business?
Strong willpower, determination, honest to the work, focused, and one more thing is the quality. Quality always pays.
Okay, Mr. Aggarwal, thanks a lot for talking to us.
Right.
Pleasure having you on the show. Thanks, Sandeep. Well, that was Mr. Aggarwal in his uncharacteristic style telling his life story without sounding bitter. These are the mantras he applied to build Crystal Corp protection. Don't look back, always look forward. Don't crib about the problems, look for solutions. Strong vision, willpower, honesty and dedication are mantras for success. Focus on quality in whatever you do. And finally, keep the customers at the center of your universe. Well, these mantras have certainly helped Mr. Aggarwal bounce back not once, but twice. Before I go, here is a quotation from Mr. Nelson Mandela that fits very well with Mr. Aggarwal's life. I quote, "Don't judge me by successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." Unquote. On that thinking note, it is time to say goodbye. See you next week with another interesting episode. Till then, keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.